Candace Owens is offering a $10,000 reward to any influencers that can come forward with evidence of a smear campaign against her or Tucker Carlson. Like, that's the only reason conservatives wouldn't like her, is because they're being paid to push a narrative about her and Tucker Carlson's stance on Israel. No. I just don't like her for free. I'm not getting offered. I would never accept any campaign to smear someone, or I don't accept campaigns ever to begin with. So, but no, it's not why us smaller creators, or she calls them like little influencers or whatever she said, that was demeaning. No, hate you for free. Hate your stance on Israel for free. I think you've turned demonic. I think we should stop giving this psychotic woman a platform. I think she's narcissistic. I think once upon a time she had a good voice, and she was a good voice for the conservative movement. But now I think she's absolutely lost her damn mind. And I'm not getting paid to say it, so damn, if you guys were getting paid to say that, where's my check?
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Trista. Everyone hates Candace Owens, and I've mostly been hearing about Candace Owens and not really Tucker Carlson, but Tucker Carlson is kind of in the same lane. And so I just wanted to share my thoughts and just give a little bit of a perspective, just add to a different perspective. And so before I go into, some of the things that Candace Owens said, I wanted to put out just a statistic that I saw on the CDC and the Military Times. And everybody has been talking about, or, in the newspapers, it has been a lot of, on social media, a lot of talk about a possible draft and kids going off to fight Israel's wars. And before we even go there, the Military Times have reported that over 60% of service members are overweight, okay? And 21% are obese. They are medically considered obese, okay? Not only that, it will actually take about $1.5 billion to get them deployment ready. Before people decide to say, well, we're going to automatically, have this draft, and then we're going to go off and, fight Israel's wars, I just want to say that the Military Times is basically saying that our service members even ready to be deployed, health-wise, and different things like that. And so I just wanted to point that out, statistic and rates-wise and percentage-wise, that is it even possible, okay? So that's just one thing. Another thing about Candace Owens. Now, some of the clips that I shared in this video, shares her opinion, and people are actually saying that she switched sides and she's saying all these things about Israel. And then now even this campaign against actual influencers are getting paid from different companies to talk bad about her and Tucker Carlson, right? And she has even found that even pastors are getting talking points to even talk about and preach about Israel and some of the things that Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson have been talking about. And they are, I guess, told and paid to go and preach about it on Sunday. Now, she says she has found definite proof that these pastors are now preaching and talking about her and Tucker Carlson, right? And then some of these influencers, I just showed one that just really expressed a lot of hate towards some of the things that she's talking about. Here's what my thoughts are. My thoughts are is that I'm not surprised. I am totally not surprised that this is how she feels when it comes to certain things. When she's passionate about certain things, this is how she comes off. She comes off very, very confident, the proof. And not only that, did people forget that she has been threatened? Death threats has been between her and her family. FBI have been called to look at some of these death threats that she has been getting. Of course, to me, this makes sense that she is very passionate and is standing on business on exactly how she feels about Israel. And if you've been watching a lot of her shows and some of the things that she talks about finding out that there is a lot of things that Israel Jews have their fingers in when it comes to Hollywood, when it comes to music, and even when it comes to the government. And so to me, it makes sense because of all these things that she's finding out for her to act this way. Now, I don't agree with every single point that comes out of her mouth. I don't. But it does come off, or it does show that people need to actually start thinking. When I started hearing about MAGA and really started paying attention, to me, MAGA did not represent Donald Trump. MAGA is exactly what it is, make America great again. So that means that the past things that have been going on for many decades and all the previous presidents have done is no longer working now, and we are going to do what is best for America. It did not represent Donald Trump. To me, it represented who was best qualified in representing the Christian policies and what America represented. All those things encompasses to me what makes America great, which include the Christian principles. And so again, I vote based on my own Christian morals and values. And so Donald Trump to me leaned closer than Kamala Harris. And so I will never say I will never say that Kamala Harris is way better than Donald Trump. Never. Those words would never, ever come out of my mouth. And even if it did come out of Candace Owens' mouth, that's her opinion. She can have those opinions. That is one of the things that make America great. That is, to me, what she represents when it comes to America. America, you can have free speech. And so to me, that's what she, in her opinion, in her podcast, that's what she does. So to me, I'm not surprised when she come out very passionately and talk about Israel and talk about Donald Trump and even some of the things that she is looking like, listen, guys, look at what's going on. This and this and this is what's going on. Sometimes I think that she can be so passionate about something and miss certain points. I completely understand that because you're so passionate about it. But at the same time, I don't agree with saying, yeah, go get a dishonorable discharge. If you are a service member and we're about to go fight in Israel's war, yes, go get a dishonorable discharge.
The Uniform Code of Military Justice, Article 19, dishonorable discharge can result in forfeiture of all pay and allowances up to 5 years confinement, which is a pretty heavy penalty to pay.
Yeah, I'd want my kids to go to jail before they fought for Israel. I'll say that honestly.
Okay.
I would. I have 3 sons, and I'm going to be honest with you, Pierce. I'm glad you told me that consequence. I'd take that consequence any day to them being sent back over in a coffin because they died for Israel. So.
Okay, but I think the one thing you're missing, look, I come from a big military family, a lot of military in my family, and a lot of people fighting wars on behalf of the United States are not doing it because they think Bibi Netanyahu wants them to. They're doing it because
some of them do that, and they write into my show and I answer the question.
But many of them won't, and they might be offended by you suggesting that's the only reason they're doing it.
And they can watch your show, and they can be offended all they want, but I think it's more offensive the way that our military is treated, the veterans are treated, and the gaslighting that takes place when we're told that we have to defend everybody's borders but our own.
I actually think America treats its veterans better than almost any country in the world.
I mean, this has always been an open conversation, and I'm just saying that if my boys were being drafted to fight this war in Iran, I would be like, you know what, honey, take the other option. And that's not because it's cowardice. It's because when you sign up for the military...
Okay, but I would say that the pilots...
You are pledging that you are doing something that is going to better your country. Candace, and like I said, our country has been in steep decline since we have been part of this foreign policy, which is just whatever Israel wants.
Okay, you made that point, but
No, I am a military spouse. My husband serves in the Marine Corps. I am biased. Number one, I'm biased. And so number two, to say things when it comes to service members, to willingly disobey the government and things like that hurts, number one, the service member, and number two, there are other ways that a person that doesn't agree with fighting, there are other ways that they can get out of that. They don't have to get a dishonorable discharge. And I can understand her saying, well, I would rather my kids go to jail than die in a war. I could understand her saying that. And so to me, I'm not going to say that I hate her or anything like that because I don't. But at this time, I do pray for for her. I do pray that God continues to protect her and her family, because she does have the spotlight on her, and a lot of things, bad things are happening behind the scenes that she's not completely sharing. And so some of this aggression and passionate behavior is a result of some of the things that is happening. So I just want to put my thoughts out there. Let me know your thoughts. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until my next video. God bless.